All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Roulette Rivals 8 matchup. This evening, it is between Meekahh and Frivolous. This is a PC losers bracket round 4 matchup, and I am joined. This evening. Let me jump into the channel. I am joined this evening for this shoutcast by the one and only Gunthermation. Say hello, Gunther. Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, Barb.
Hey.
Even as a co-caster, I somehow muted myself. I apologize. Hey, how you doing? Thanks so much for having me along.
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I'm really happy to have you along. Tonight's matchup, we're pretty far in here. This is a round 4 matchup in the losers bracket. Meekahh and Frivolous, one of them exiting the competition, both of them fighting desperately to not be that person exiting the competition tonight.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, this is a lower bracket round, and yeah, so it is very much a do or die. Now this is lower bracket round 4, so we're going to be playing 3 maps. So this is still the first to 3. I think is it round 5 barbecue? I think on this bracket it's round 5.
Yeah, they have a little bit further to get in the lower bracket before they have to start scoring that many points. So this could be over, with just 2 maps. Of course, it could take a little bit longer than that as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm gonna get a prediction going here because I know if I don't do it, chat's gonna be predictions. So not even gonna.
They are quite aggressive that way.
Yeah, they like to gamble.
Well, while you're setting that up, let me ask you about our maps. So we have Whittleton Creek, followed by Santa Fortuna, and then Miami as a decider if we get there. What do you think about that as a lineup for these 2 players?
I'm extremely. When I saw not only have I heard good things about these players this tournament, but I saw the map lineup as well. Whittleton Creek, one of my go-tos. If you know anything about me, I really like Whittleton Creek, and also Santa Fortuna. I constantly sing the praises of Santa Fortuna as a roulette map. I love it. I'm extremely excited. And if I did I hear you right? You said the 3rd map would be New York.
Miami.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, Miami, also another one of my favorite maps of Hitman 2 in general. Super stoked for this lineup tonight. Whittleton Creek to start us off, then going to Santa Fortuna. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm sure it's going to be a really good matchup. And both of these players have been doing really good this tournament, especially Frivolous, who is a roulette rookie. But has made some strides this competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I feel like these are good maps to test the players on. Whittleton Creek, while it's not necessarily one of the faster maps, it is one of the more complex maps that you can get done in shorter amounts of time. And then you go on to Santa Fortuna, which is just a crapshoot. It could be a really complicated spin and take you the whole time. It could be a faster, but fast for Santa Fortuna. So it's going to be interesting to see how both these players are able to kind of mitigate that, especially going from a map like Whittleton Creek to Santa Fortuna.
For sure.
Definitely think whoever's going to take the Whittleton Creek map, which is Meekahh's pick, by the way, has to feel comfortable on Santa Fortuna. If we're going to see a draw in this matchup, it's going to be on Santa Fortuna. Don't see it happening on Whittleton Creek. Don't see it happening on Miami.
Yeah.
Santa Fortuna is going to be a draw. You win on Whittleton Creek, you can survive with a draw on Santa Fortuna.
Hmm.
Your opponent then has to win Santa Fortuna. That's just got to be a huge air of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, Santa Fortuna, sometimes the spins can be really straightforward. You know exactly what to do. Other times they really can put you through the ringer. So, we'll see what's in store. But first, we have to deal with Janus and Nolan Cassidy. Gunther, would you care to take the spin and break it down for us?
I am so excited to read this spin. Okay, so we have Janus with his screwdriver, while described as the barbecue owner. And then we have Nolan Cassidy with his silent assault rifle, while disguised as me. So both me and Barb are represented
I love
in
it.
this spin. Thank you. Shout out to GK Punk for pointing this out, by the way. He
I
pointed out that
love
in the
it.
chat.
That's
So
awesome. It's
if there
literally.
ever was evidence that we do rig spins, this is it. This is all you need.
I love it. We're literally both in this spin. Okay, this is great. So both players are starting as the food vendor, or the server, whatever they want to call him here. And this can be a difficult disguise grab to get. They're both going to try it. It involves a breacher and a fire extinguisher. Frivolous was doing the loud strat. Meekahh's using the gum, it looks like,
Yeah.
but this
The
can.
gum is so handy here, and so I feel like this gives him a huge advantage. As we just saw, Frivolous just got ripped with the with getting spotted there trying to do the disguise change. This is gonna make or break the run right here. If this takes Frivolous one or two more tries and Meekahh's able to get it first go.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. If wow. Okay. I was gonna say this might be a
There he
lot
goes.
harder than it looks, but it wasn't. That went beautifully for
No.
Meekahh. That was really
That was really good placement.
yeah.
Really good placement. He set it up in the perfect spot. Right now, Frivolous's issue is he's got a he tried to do the disguise change from that little gap,
Mm-hmm.
and if he can get behind that bar area, he's gonna be so much better off.
Oh, careful, Meekahh. Careful. That's gonna. Okay. Oh man, look out. It's just enforcers to the left, enforcers to the right. Oh no.
Oh, I don't know how he hasn't been spotted already. This is
Yeah.
oh, but he's getting so much whoosh there. Yeah, it's gonna be a restart for
Yeah.
Meekahh.
He was cruising for a bruising. He was really out there in the open. So both players now back to making this, getting this barbecue owner one way or another. That seems like a hard way to do it with the breacher and the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, and you've got to place it just right. He has to fall exactly where you need him to fall.
Mhm.
We just saw Frivolous kill themselves trying to do that placement.
Meekahh's
So, yeah.
going for it again here, but he's not going to have good luck with the direction that Richard's body. He kind of, when he falls unconscious, it's like kind of unknown which way he's going to lean when he starts to hit the floor. So if you
Yeah.
get bad luck, back to square one.
And Frivolous had a good fall, but wound up getting
Nice.
seen by another member of the party.
It worked out here this time though.
Oh, yes, excellent. I just caught up to you.
Meekahh
Yeah, excellent.
going again here for the gum, and that angle works. But Frivolous gets spotted
Ah!
jumping in through the window.
This is rougher of a start than I think either of them expected, and so my guess is they are imagining that their opponent is fine and just breezing through this. So
See,
pressure's on.
this is a hard. I'm convinced that whether you use the gum or the fire extinguisher and the breacher, this is a hard disguise to grab.
Oh, yeah.
As evidenced by the fact that they keep having to restart. So like even though it seems straightforward, there's certainly something to be said for maybe approaching it in a way that just you can do it once and done. A seeker dart and a medic device.
Exactly.
Sure, you can do it these fast, cool ways, but look at consistency. Consistency is an issue.
Right. Well, and you bring up a good point, because if if either player had just gone the secret dart, sure, they're waiting 30 40 seconds for him to go into the bathroom and be isolated. You still have a risk of knocking him out next to that window, depending on where a couple of the wandering NPCs are. But like you said, you've got it, you're done.
Mm,
The struggle that we're also seeing is even after they get the disguises, they haven't been able to infiltrate Janus's house. And so if you have that problem more than once and you're going the secret route, now you're waiting 3 or 4 minutes just to try again, you know?
sure,
So it's I can understand the argument for both of them.
sure.
Frivolous looks like he's finally got his way into Janus's house though, and
And
Meekah's already got the isolation up
yep,
by the gramophone.
yep, that gramophone lure is tested, tried and tested lure for Janus. It's not the fastest way to get him, but it, safe, pretty easy to do. No reason not to have it in your repertoire. Both players clearing out the basement here, taking care of the evidence, grabbing that clue, that photo on the table. Have they got screwdrivers on them?
I don't believe so. So Meekahh has dropped off his disguise upstairs. There is a screwdriver in Janus's garage, if I recall.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, Meekah's just grabbed it.
Yeah, so that's where Meekah's going. I think Frivolous might be opting to wait till Janus is downstairs.
Yep. He's gonna get Janus when he's about to call Helen West, and Gunther stands against the wall, or he's not even gonna wait. Now that might be a problem because Janus is gonna scream. I think Frivolous may have, he pulled the attention of that guard upstairs. That's a problem.
Oh, no.
Bullet distract. Bullet distract. Oh, you could have saved it. Oh, could have been some just, nerves, panic, roulette brain. But I feel like he could have saved that there had he done like a silenced, pistol shot on the wall. Stop him from coming down the stairs. But it can be hard to piece that together when you feel like
when
you're losing control of a situation. Really, really close, but he should have just been a bit more careful with that Janus, approaching that Janus kill. He allowed him to scream.
Yeah, now he's got to start over, and he's still. And at this point, if you're doing the restarts, like I fully support the more risky strats, trying to get this disguise. You've restarted who knows how many times at this point. You are concerned that your opponent is much further than you, and now you're just trying to get it done fast. If it takes you 2 or 3 tries, like, so be it. But Meekahh is in a pretty commanding spot right now.
For sure.
Has one of the kills down, has the disguise, just did the agency pickup, which I'm assuming is a silenced assault rifle. And Cassidy's even in a good spot if he chooses to use an emetic device to get him in Batty's backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's going for the garage.
Yeah, right around 4 minutes and 20 seconds. It's very easy sort of milestone time to remember. Gunther starts, or not Gunther.
Like there's a more memorable number than that, maybe.
Maybe. But that's when Nolan generally starts heading into the garage there. So Meekahh gets that pacification on Nolan, very clean, and silenced AR kill on Nolan. Just needs one clue, and needs to get out. Frivolous is back. He's still trying to. He had to restart, obviously, so he's waiting for Janus to come back down into the living room again, and hopefully he's a bit more patient, before he gets that thrown. Because once Janus is looking down or he like faces his phone, he won't even see you throw it at Gunther, throw anything at him. So hopefully he's a bit more patient. We'll see.
Yeah, Meekahh has just grabbed the third clue and is heading towards the exit now, assuming he doesn't get ripped here. He should be out. And we're looking at a much closer result if Frivolous doesn't jump the gun and try to go for the knockout on Gunther and Janus when it is audible, like you said. And he does this time. He does wait it out. It's too little, too late. Unfortunately, that would have worked, and he would have been in step with Meekahh, and then it could have just gone down to whoever had the better assault rifle kill.
Sure.
GG's nonetheless.
Yeah, that was a really strong performance by Meekahh. He completed that with an in-game time of, I think it was 5 minutes and 30 seconds or so, which isn't, the fastest of the fast Whittleton Creek times, but that's extremely competitive. That is a really good time.
Yeah. Well, especially for a disguise the disguises that you needed. You know, that barbecue owner disguise, obviously the more difficult of the two to get,
Sure.
but still, like, just very well done. Because once he got it, I think he had to restart like once after he got it, but after that, it was very smooth play all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it was, I'm really speaking of the barbecue owner and how they were approaching that disguise grab. I'm really always intrigued to see players come up with like really fast ways of like getting certain disguises, right? Because it's just knowing how to do something quickly can really, it can be a nice trick to have up your sleeve and to know when to rely on it. But it's also nice to have safer strats as a backup as well, because you don't want to have to rely when you're just trying to like make a strat like that work and you're having a hard time due to some kind of little subtlety or something that you can't adjust quite right. You know, it's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. You know, sometimes it helps to be able to like approach it a bit more carefully, like Meekahh was doing it with the gum, and he seemed to have a better time with that. Still had some mistakes every now and then, but definitely cool to see those very bold disguise grabs, and also seeing the kind of slower counterpart to it as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that it's kind of a coin toss, right? Because if Frivolous had been able to pull off that strategy immediately, you know, and he's just off to the races, he doesn't have any trouble getting into Janus's house, and you know, just no mistakes from there on out. That is the faster strat. He's got himself, 10, 15 seconds that he can play with, that Meekahh has to make up for going for the safer strat. But that's roulette in a nutshell. You know, do you choose to go the safe way to make sure that you get it, or do you go the fast way where you might not get it, but you'll get more attempts, or you'll beat your opponent if they are going the slower way?
Yeah, there's I think that there's a lot of viability to the different ways that different roulette players approach the game, and it's really not as locked down. I think that there might be a perception some people have that like roulette is something that all boils down to like the fastest meta strats, or knowing how to do A, B, and C. And maybe there's some truth to knowing like a kind of baseline of strategies, but there's also a lot of it that comes down to having to make decisions in the moment because something doesn't go exactly as you plan it to go. People get caught off guard by an extra NPC walking through the area, or someone, hauling a gun away, whatever it might be. There's lots of variables, and there's lots of ways that players can kind of show strengths and weaknesses in how they plan their loadouts, in and what their situational awareness is like, and how well they're able to kind of think on their feet and rely upon map knowledge and stuff like that. So there's lots of ways for players to kind of not necessarily be evenly matched on paper, but still have like a fighting chance against each other, because there's so many ways that they can excel in a way that might be totally different from what their opponent is capable of.
And I do appreciate that you brought up specifically, like, the headspace that they're at. We just saw it at Wilton Creek with Frivolous, where you mentioned, like, just take the pistol distraction shot, but going through Frivolous's head could be, I need to get up there and knock him out first and foremost. Or if I do a pistol distraction and just heard a scream, what if that turns into a lockdown situation, or like, a pistol panic instead of a distraction shot? And it's like, in those moments, these players have to kind of juggle all this stuff, all while under the pressures of the competition and stuff. It is heavy. It is a heavy burden to bear in the middle of these matches, and I think that we see that pressure. Santa Fortuna, the map coming up, is a fantastic example of it's one of my favorite roulette maps, just because of how many things have to go right in a certain order, because if they don't go right in that order, you rip, you start over, you give the full advantage over to your opponent, and it can be devastating.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be awesome. Let's see what Hitmaps has served up for us. Rico Delgado eliminated with a falling object disguised as a mansion guard. Jorge Franco eliminated in an explosive accident while disguised as P-Power, the tattoo artist. And Andrea Martinez eliminated with a loud explosive weapon disguised as the Hippo Whisperer. Nice.
These are my favorite spins for Santa Fortuna. The spins that require multiple kind of crisscrosses of the map.
Mm-hmm.
So you have P-Powers at the bar, you have the Hippo Whisperers and the Hippo Enclosure, areas that you otherwise might not go to
Mm-hmm.
unless you have those disguises or you need, like, that's a good area for isolation. But especially Hippo Whisperer for Andrea, you're going to have to bring that all the way over to her. It's about as far away from her as you can be.
Mm-hmm.
And then P-Power for Jorge, same thing. We're talking opposite ends of the map here. So it's interesting. These types of spins are really interesting to see how players go about their disguise shuffles.
Yeah.
And we are seeing some replanning from both of them. The Rico Delgado falling object obviously is probably the easiest one here. If you go for the Hippo Enclosure lore,
Mm-hmm.
you have your Mansion Guard disguise right there. You've got the falling object right there. But the other two are going to require a little bit of disguise shuffle.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like Frivolous got himself a propane flask there, one of several that can be found scattered around the mansion here. And he's heading directly for the Hippo Enclosure, looks like. So going to start that lure, probably get into the disguise and go speak with Rico, assuming he's in an area of the mansion where he can be approached. He does linger in some trespassing areas, if you're disguised as the Hippo Whisperer. So... Frivolous had to restart there, having some difficulty with the guards hanging out above the Hippo Enclosure.
That spot can get spotted if you're trying to go for the pistol distraction there.
And Meekahh is running directly into Jorge's hut here. Looks to be getting ready to set up a remote explosive there for Jorge because he's about to enter his hut.
Does he have himself an accidental explosive?
I don't think he has a propane flask yet, but he's probably planning to get one over by the mansion.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got the gum there. That should knock Jorge out, no problem.
Oh, wait, there's one right there.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
Learned something new.
That's a fantastic setup, so... probably go for, getting Jorge out of the way, like, just so that you have him set up. That's a big whoosh, and that table is see-through.
Yeah, they can. Sometimes there's a person outside of that window who has visibility inside the hut, and we'll see that if you get aggressive with Jorge, which just happened.
Well, Frivolous is setting up the Rico lore. Has already tossed the meat to the Hippo, so actually, he's early enough. He might just get Rico to come over here on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Is his plan to set up this falling object to trigger remotely? He is grabbing the remote explosive.
Yeah,
unless that is the Andrea kill. That's
the
best part. I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Now, there is a crowbar nearby as well that you can use to just kind of break that pillar and send it off manually, so that it doesn't have to be done remotely. I think we'll probably see him get it out right just because he's already in the disguise he needs.
Yeah.
I think I might actually bring someone down to investigate too.
I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. We'll have to see if it does pull any question marks.
Oh no! Frivolous gets the stairs subdue on Rico, but it won't matter. No one hears it.
Yeah, he's far enough away, thankfully.
All right, now Meekahh's gonna watch for that NPC outside the window there.
Yeah, this is such a dangerous spot to do this, but
yeah, this can really be from what I can remember. You don't want to really leave Jorge standing or sitting there because someone might see him through a window. Hopefully that does not happen. But if we see a body found and then a restart from Meekahh, we'll know what happened.
We'll know exactly what happened. It's pretty good where this is set up, though. I'm feeling pretty confident with it. Frivolous does have the falling object kill on Rico, and body, even if it does get found, was an accident. It's got no other bodies that are out in the open. Should be good to go.
Sure.
So that is a nice and safe one. And still with the propane flask in hand, looks like heading over to set up the Rico kill next. I don't know if Frivolous has any remote tasers.
Yep, that will definitely be a factor here. If not, he might just have to double back as P Power. You know, after concluding his business with Andrea, as you said at the start, there's a lot of crisscross that needs to kind of occur here for whatever you don't set up to be done remotely. Got to go to the bar for P Power, Hippo Whisperer. You know, he's there, and that one's not quite as hard. You know, he's kind of on the way. Both players have incorporated that pretty nicely. Frivolous taking some shots, gets the Seeker, it looks like. It's a nicely timed Seeker shot on Jorge there.
Yeah, I mean, and earlier than one might expect. Just wanted to get that shot off, but Jorge would be walking toward him, would have made it an easier shot, but he doesn't necessarily have to save those darts, so he had more than one opportunity to take that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Still a risky one, but yeah, Meekahh is going for the isolation on Rico now as well. Probably see the same fall kill.
Yep. Just get it done, and then head through the construction site to the bar. And
I do appreciate that that both players are setting up this Jorge kill from afar. I think that it's the safest way to do rather than trying to bring back trespassing disguise.
oh, Frivolous has a breacher. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna do breacher plus propane. He
It should be okay doing this. This is
yeah.
it's so nerve wracking.
Yeah, it's always a little dicey when you're setting up a breacher. Like
right.
yeah, you hope that it's like close enough to do the thing to blow up the propane, but not so close that it's going to cause lethal damage.
Exactly.
You know, from the explosive device itself.
Yeah, it's more of a sure thing the way that Meekahh has theirs set up with the taser and the primed propane flask.
Mm-hmm.
But not to say that this won't work. I'm sure that Frivolous knows the placement better than I do. Not that that's an impressive stat, but still.
All right, Meekahh is waiting for. Meekahh is wise to be waiting here for Rico because that's trespassing. Careful there, Meekahh.
Okay, I thought he was gonna run straight up there.
Yeah,
this is unfortunate timing. He's got to wait until Jorge comes back down, but he's got an entire cycle up there.
Oh yeah,
so
he goes and talks to the other Delgado. What's his name? Hector,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man, that's really too bad.
Okay.
Meekahh's feeling some frustration here. But what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of have to wait it out. It's not like there's anything you can really do to speed this process along. Frivolous is over in the construction site now. He's working on making his way over to Andrea, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
The loud explosive weapon is going to be what makes this interesting. So, obviously, could just set it up for an exit kill.
Mm-hmm.
We might also see Frivolous. I mean, I've got to guess. I don't know where Andrea is in her cycle, but we've got to assume Frivolous is going to go for P Power first, do the remote kill, and then switch back into Hippo Whisperer disguise to mosey on to Andrea. So
I mean, maybe,
spot.
but Andrea's also a bit more sensitive to timing too, because she does spend some time walking through the town, and she's only in her little hacienda at certain points. So I feel like what Frivolous should consider, or ideally would be considering, is what is Andrea's location. If she's in the village, you know, mess around at the bar, go right ahead. But if she's in the hacienda, then that should be your priority.
I couldn't quite tell, but it did look like she was in her little villa on instinct there.
Yeah, I think so. Meekahh's finally escorting Rico down to see Miho. Hopefully he does not get too far in front of Rico. He does not like that.
No,
That
it
is a sign of grave disrespect.
has caused many an issue.
Yeah.
All right, Frivolous gets
Gets.
the accidental explosion kill
Mm-hmm.
on Jorge.
And it looks like Andrea's now in the meeting room with Paula. So she's either gonna be in there for a minute or she's leaving. Is she leaving the room now?
Oh,
She's leaving.
I think, is she leaving or did she walk to the other end of it?
She's
Nope,
left.
she's leaving. Oh no, okay.
That's really, really too bad for Frivolous. Now don't panic here and get yourself spotted. That's my niche.
Yeah, he's he's got himself. He's pulled out the seeker, but he does not have any darts left. He
Yeah.
used one on P Power to get the disguise rather than luring him outside.
You wouldn't
to
want
do
to seeker
the
her
KO
here
there.
anyways. She would go to that outhouse right by the gardener's hut there, and
Oh, wait, even if you got her when she was in front of the estate.
I think so, but it's not a good place to get her.
Yeah. Well, Meekahh just got the fall kill
Mm-hmm.
on Jorge, and the timing is odd because Meekahh technically it's already missed Andrea's timing, just given what we know from Frivolous's in-game timer.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's gonna have to wait a cycle there anyway, but he can still go get P power in the meantime. This is kind of a race to see whose Andrea gets back more comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Both players in their Hippo Whisperer disguise. Frivolous literally has nothing else to do right now than just
wait.
just wait. There's no other targets or prep work to really focus on. And this is I'm sure Frivolous is probably thinking like, oh, I should have gotten P power later, because there's no pressure to get that remote kill done. That's the beauty of setting it up, is you can do it when it's convenient for you. You can then prioritize other matters of the spin that are perhaps more, like you're limited by when you can do them because of target cycles and timing and things like that. But that's an easy mistake to make, especially when you're just kind of flowing between the different points that you need to go to. It's not always easy to make the best decision, 100% of the time. At least that's the kind of roulette player that I am. Some people are like extremely optimal at every way they approach and think about a spin, but I don't identify with that, so I can't speak to those to that like caliber of just thinking about a spin and executing it.
I think you and I are of the same mind when it comes to that. It absolutely baffles me, just the sheer skill that a lot of these players have, and just their innate knowledge of the timings and how everything works. And it's like, oh well, I'll just do these kills, and this will end up with Andrea being at this particular pixel at this point in time. It's not. It's a lot of work.
It's cool to watch though. Like thankfully, we don't have to have that knowledge to be able to enjoy it, because we get to see so many people like who are already at that level. Like I'm good with just seeing the amazing players. I don't need to be one.
I've become such a much better Hitman player just in the short time that I've spent casting roulette. And in the short time of us reminiscing about this, Andrea has come back.
Yes, she has, and has been peekabooed by Frivolous right around the corner there, so that's good. Now, we're just going to leave the explosive there and detonate on exit, I presume. Hopefully, nothing unfortunate with her ragdoll, getting spotted. There is...
It's a dangerous place to leave.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lady that Frivolous is running by. Yeah, she hangs out on a balcony, and she might have eyes on that when the explosion goes off. So
and we'll see. I know that loud kills there are typically safe, but like you said, the ragdoll could bounce her off of that wall and put her somewhere. But if Frivolous is able to pull this off and remain green guns on exit, that's going to tie us up and going to force us to go to Miami, which is the decider.
I'm not unhappy about that. Did Frivolous keep green guns? They did.
Looked like that was green guns on exit to me. Wait for admin confirmation, but yeah.
That's weird. Does it not say Silent Assassin on the screen? There's 5 stars, but I don't see the Silent Assassin badge.
Yeah, I see it up atop.
Oh, yeah, of course. Looking at the totally wrong spot. I see it.
I thought that you were being facetious.
I saw it all along.
Just wasn't. I was concerned I wasn't picking up on the bit, but well done, well done, Frivolous. That's a big win. That's
Yeah.
a big map to pull back, especially like, oh man, the pressure must have been so much. But kudos for just the wherewithal to be like, you know what? Nope, I'm waiting Andrea out. I'm not gonna force anything. I'm just gonna wait till she comes back instead of trying to meet her in town and forcing something there.
Yeah. Yeah, really, and like you said, like this was like kind of I think if I recall what we discussed at the start of the shoutcast, it was like it will be unlikely, that we would see a draw because Wilton Creek is one of those kind of quick maps, and then it can be hard for the momentum to shift when you're starting from the back foot on Santa Fortuna. But that's exactly what happened. Meekahh took Wilton Creek, and then Frivolous fought back and gained some momentum there. Enough to take us to our decider map. And we're always happy to see that from a shoutcaster's perspective, and certainly from a viewer's perspective, when we see these extra overtime matches, to force an outcome. I mean, what more could you want? It's as high stakes as it gets in a lower bracket match, which is already a fight for survival. Yeah, it's this is great. Heading off to Miami for Robert Knox and Sierra Knox.
Yeah, and it should be a good one. I mean, both these players, obviously, even though, each player won their own map pick, but it wasn't easy. The other player, Meekahh played incredibly well on Wilton Creek and was able to win that, but Frivolous wasn't too far behind, less a single error, which was just the Janus takedown.
Right.
On the other side of things, Frivolous able to take Santa Fortuna, but again, Meekahh in-game time was only a couple minutes behind.
Mm-hmm.
Could very much have done exactly what we just saw Frivolous do, and would have been able to exit as well. So two very, very close maps. Miami, it's a good neutral ground. I feel like Miami is one of those maps that a lot of roulette players know how to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly one that we see a lot. It's one of the better maps in terms of it's got a lot of open space, but it also has a significant amount of verticality.
Mm-hmm.
Both the targets have multiple methods of isolation.
Sure.
Just how do you get Sierra alone is enough to make out a bulleted Google Doc list. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and it's really going to come down to what comes up in the spin, as to whether or not the players are going to be able to tackle it easily, or if we're going to see another barbecue owner disguise situation.
Yeah, like the shake, he's he can be a tricky one to grab. It might be as simple as, just make him sick, but a lot of times we see players struggling to do what is just described as just simply make the shake nauseous. Well, we see often that it's not quite so simple, at least not all the time. But like you said, a lot of this is going to depend on what the spin looks like. Some spins are just really kind of easy, like, okay, sugar lure for Sierra, and then get Robert second. But some spins it's different. Some spins it's Robert first. Some spins it has you starting somewhere where you're not near sugar, for instance, maybe as like a Kronstadt engineer. Or you have like a battle axe kill for Sierra, and then something crazy for Robert, for getting Robert first, like falling object maybe. So we have some straightforward and kind of simple Miami spins, but we've also got some that can be a real pain to kind of figure out, or at least figure out a way faster than your opponent.
That is very true.
So
that is very true.
I'm excited. This is fight to the death. Whoever loses this match is out of the competition, unfortunately, and the winner will live to fight another match. And I think at that point it will be a 1st to 6 match, so the fights get a bit more intense at that stage too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be very good though.
Look at the brackets. Where do these guys go at the end of this? They will go on to play Z-Rune. The next one, which that's high stakes right there.
It definitely is. Speaking of high stakes, we're about to get our spin. Why don't you go ahead and take it for us, Gunther?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Sierra Knox, well disguised as a mascot, using scissors, and Robert Knox with a loud explosive weapon as the Kronstadt engineer. Okay, so another loud explosive weapon kill. Knox is a fun one to do a loud kill on. I'm assuming we're going to see laptop lore exit explosive kill, but it's that Kronstadt researcher that gives me pause with that. You know, like, because at that point you're already up there. Do you go for that disguise while you're up there? Do you try and set him up early? I don't see us doing some type of quick kill and dump for Robert.
See, I feel like if I were playing this spin, I might actually try and do that explosive kill and just get Robert to fall off the edge of the building into like the pit of tires or whatever that's like off to the side of the racetrack, because I think he would stay hidden there. But what you or I might do could be totally different from what our players here are going to do. However,
Absolutely.
they are both thinking of starting as the Kronstadt engineer, because it looks like Robert, getting this explosive kill on Robert is what they want to approach first. So
and at least getting them set up. I mean, Frivolous has already grabbed a pair of scissors. I'm not sure if Meekahh has done the same, but being able to grab the scissors while you're up here as well. Meekahh does look like he's going for the researcher first, grabbing that disguise. Frivolous has just grabbed a different disguise, but same area.
Yes, they both thought to kind of grab that researcher and then traverse the pipe to get to the next level. So now it's just a matter of getting Robert out here at his laptop.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point where you can set up the explosion in such a way that you would be able to just do a quick dump into the tire pit below. But I just realized, what about his bodyguard that's with him? Where do we put him?
That's a good question. I don't know if he will haul a weapon away himself or if he radios it in, but that could be something worth trying. I don't think our players have any extra weapons that they're keen to leave lying around, though. So yeah, this is tricky.
And Frivolous is in the ideal spot, just waiting for Robert Knox and his bodyguard to get up here. He isn't in a trespassing disguise, which is a nice change of pace for typically for this Robert lore, just because it's less of a pain to deal with him when you're not in trespassing disguise.
All right, Frivolous.
I want to point out, because you mentioned, how you can go for Robert first, you can go for Sierra first. It really depends. The skill level, as we get, further to the, as Gordy says, the pointy end of the bracket, where you see a lot of players kind of have that like-mindedness for, this is the target to go for. There is no other target that I would go for.
Wow, Frivolous is being really brave there and dragging that Kronstadt guard through the hallway.
Meekahh with the accidental neck snap prompt.
Oh no.
That's going to be a restart. Oh no.
That's always the worst when that happens.
That is heartbreaking.
And looks like Frivolous does do the explosive on Robert to get him blasted over the edge. So that's awesome to see. That's we are of a Frivolous and I are of a similar school of thought there when it comes to getting that loud explosive kill on Robert.
Did you see what he did with Robert's guard? He dragged him into the bathroom a few rooms away.
Yeah.
Unlikely that one's going to be found.
Sure.
So, yeah, very, very smart play there. And now you don't have to worry about that as an exit kill. You're done.
Right.
Now you can just focus on the second half of your objectives, which is mascot with scissors for Sierra. We already know that he's got the scissors. Now it's just a matter of getting the mascot and ending the race for Sierra.
And Chad is correct in pointing out that it was very fortunate the way that Robert Knox's body flew onto the racetrack, because had he went just a bit further, he would have become a lethal interaction with the other race cars, causing non-target kills.
I mean, that would be a unique way to fail a spin.
That would probably make a highlight reel, honestly. So not too much of a loss, but it would cause you to at least have to restart. So, but it did work out. He didn't quite get on the racetrack, and he will stay hidden where he landed.
And Frivolous has the mascot disguise good to go. Ran into a locked door, wasn't able to get through it, and but just decided to go around. Is allowed back here as the mascot anyway, so it's a good use of map knowledge there.
Sure. Yeah, now he could grab the incriminating evidence and use that to end the race more quickly, but did not do that. It looks like is going for sugar.
And I for one wouldn't blame him if he didn't know that that's a way to end the race fast, because I didn't know that that was a thing until very recently, because it doesn't make any logical sense that Sierra would know that a piece of paper was picked up out of a van in a parking garage. But you know, that's it, man.
That's just the way the Hitman triggers work.
Yeah.
And there's some other ones too, like starting as a medic and paging Sierra Knox. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Blunts and Beats has actually made a video about all the different ways that you can sort of end the race and exert some control over Sierra and her timing and such.
Blunts and Beats is the one who taught me about the incriminating evidence thing.
Oh, Frivolous! That was so close. that was almost like an orange. He almost got orange.
How did he not? Out of curiosity.
Just the whoosh, like meter started filling up. Like they do that side look when they investigate a distraction, and like
did the toss. That's lucky. Count your lucky stars there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, Meekahh, meanwhile, is setting up this Robert Knox kill. Oh, interesting. Going for a trank shot on the guard, so if his body does get found, it's fine.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay. I can't say I would have. I mean, maybe this will work.
No. I mean, he's gonna have to go quick. But, yeah. I mean, his body definitely won't fly out onto the track. But
no, it definitely won't. And wait, he does get red guns.
Oh, but why?
Did he move the body after tranking it? That would.
I mean, he wasn't even near it after tranking it. Did the explosion bump the body? Is that a thing that happens?
I'm really not sure. We would just be guessing. It's not clear to me how we got red guns, but it happened after the body was found.
And it's bad luck because Frivolous just got his second kill on Sierra with the scissors. Grabs the free medic disguise here. Is going to be able to exit via the ambulance. Like, that's game. Barring catastrophe, that's got to be game.
Yeah.
Frivolous is going to move on with the reverse sweep, and Meekahh is going to be out.
That's really well played. Really well played by both players. Not sure what happened with Meekahh getting red guns there, but
Central Hitman says he got seen. Maybe like the body got seen. I didn't see anybody go orange, but maybe.
Hard to say. You know, we can go back and rewatch the VOD later for.
We gotta scrutinize.
Yeah, to see what exactly happened there. But Frivolous is gonna take it. So 2 points on the board for Meekahh, 4 for Frivolous. Frivolous will advance to that losers bracket round 5 matchup with Z-Rune. Meekahh unfortunately exiting the competition, but there is no shame in exiting the competition. In a round 4 match, that's a lot of wins. That's a lot of wins under your belt before you were eliminated. So good stuff.
True.
Good stuff by both players.
And well played. Frivolous did get knocked down to the lower bracket by David Red Sox. Again, no shame in that. And then getting taken out by Meekahh officially, still no shame in that.
Yeah.
Good journey so far, and definitely want to see more play.
Absolutely. We'll let's take a look here. Actually, speaking of more play, let's just take a look at our brackets really quick and see where we're at here. So this is PC. Lower bracket. Well, we already know that Z-Rune is who Frivolous will be facing off against.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to load? Look at that beautiful loading animation, though.
It is very nice.
It's
Very
proprietary.
cool.
Fun fact. All right, let's try this again. PC. And just a loading screen. Well, that's all right. The next matchup will have the new bracket information in it. Let's take a look at our upcoming matches. And I'm going to refer to the matches and the times provided to me on hitmaps.com because it gives me the times in my local time zone. And I like convenience. So check out hitmaps.com if you want the upcoming schedule in your local time zone. We have McCullers versus some random person. That's going to be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, May 19th. Nezuko-chan versus TK47 at 4 p.m. on Thursday, May 19th. 4:30, 30 minutes later, is Eclipse versus Gordini Roy. And then just those 3 matches on Thursday. We've got 4 matches on Friday. Ducker versus Chrome. Papier Fressa versus Mando. Soviet Dubov versus Script. And Hans McGee versus Fanium. And then we've got 1 match on Saturday. K. Kenny versus Joker. But we might see some of that stuff change a little bit between now and then. Hopefully not, but it is possible.
They might also have some more matches get scheduled between here and then as players have advanced. We obviously don't know when Frivolous is going to play their next match. But yes, so just keep going back to hitmaps.com. Go down to the upcoming matches section, and you'll be able to see all that stuff, where it's going to be casted, all that good stuff.
Yes, and also consider joining while you're there on hitmaps.com. There's a handy link at the bottom of the page that says that we're partnered with the Frody speedrunning community, and that's a community that puts on these Roulette Rival events. So if you're watching and you're not part of the events or you're not part of the community, consider joining and getting involved because the community is really cool and everyone's very interactive with each other and really passionate about the game and just putting on events and you know, just geeking out over the game with. So join us, and there's a link to it, so why not? All right, Gunther, any final thoughts that you care to share with the beautiful people?
No, not really. Just want to give a shout out to Mr. Mike for many things that Mr. Mike does, but specifically for being an admin for our match. And thank you so much, Barbecue, for inviting me, or allowing me to invite myself, I should say, to co-cast with you. It was good fun.
It was good fun. It's always good fun together, Gunther. Anytime. And look forward to the rest of the matchups here that we have coming over the next couple days. So keep your eyes peeled to that schedule, everybody. And thank you so much for coming out to support the Hitman community and the Hitman events. I don't know. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to raid. Decisions.
Design is on, and she's playing Hitman 3.
Well, that's good enough. That'll work for me. Arcane9. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. And stay safe out there. We'll see you at the next one.